I'll be showing 6 new features in Teams for Education. This includes the ability for educators to set expected AI use for any type of assignment, attaching standards to assignments, learning zone integration, and a whole lot more. So let's get started. The first new feature is setting expected AI use in an assignment. I'm signed in at Teams for Education as an educator, and I'm going to go to Assignments in my class. In the lower left, choose Create and New Assignment. I'm going to give a quick title and instructions. Okay, causes of the Revolutionary War and some instructions. Now let's say I'd like to set my expected AI guidelines for this assignment. Over on the right, there's a new option, Set Student AI Guidelines. I can drop this down, and by default, it's no selection. But we have a few options you can choose. Full AI use for editing only, AI use for brainstorming, or no AI use allowed at all. The other nice thing though is that you can manage student AI guidelines. And if I click this, I have a nice set of options that I can edit and even change the color on. So maybe no AI use allowed. If I edit, I can actually edit the details here for the title and description. I can make it all caps. Maybe I want to change the color from red to blue. Get a few options. I'll hit done. Now if I go here, it says do not use AI use at all. Go back in here. You can see that it's blue. The other nice thing is I can set a default. So maybe by default, I'm going to say, full AI use is allowed. I'm going to set that as the default. Hit check and then done. Now the default, when I create a new assignment, I'll just hit discard here and we'll start again. Create new assignment, and full AI use allowed is the default. You might be wondering, what does the student see on their end when they open up an assignment that has this AI guideline? So I'll give it a title and instruction again. Okay, we're going to choose student view to see what the student sees. When the student opens this up, it has full AI use allowed, or the AI guidelines, and it says you may use AI tools, etc. And it also has an Open Copilot button. If I clicked Open Copilot here, it would actually launch Copilot right into chat. Obviously, your school has to have Copilot enabled for students. So if you've not enabled Copilot for students, this button won't show up. But if you have enabled it, you'll have a direct link so students can click the button and open it up. The second new feature is the ability to attach standards to any assignment in Teams. These can be state standards or national standards, and we support standards from over 50 different countries now, and we're always adding more. If I click Add Standards, you're going to see this standard set here. And not only do we have the United States and all 50 states, we have tons of countries here. Lebanon, Netherlands, Northern Ireland, Norway, England, all sorts of different countries. So you can scroll through and search, and you can also search right here. So if I was going to search for England, right here, it pulls up the National Curriculum of England. If I want to search for the state that I live in, Washington State, there we go. I can select the grade. Let's say it's grade 8. We pull in the subject. In this case, it's going to be social studies, and then maybe the strand, US history. And if I go to history here, we're going to go understands causal factors. I'm going to select a couple of options here. Okay, that looks great. And I'll hit add. Now right here, it says 4 standards. And if I click this, it shows the standards that I have added directly to this assignment. I can delete these. I can clear all. So it's really easy to have this attached to your assignment and align what you're doing. The third new feature is taking standards that you've already attached to an assignment and injecting them into the rubric that you might be creating. In this case, I will click Add Rubric right here, and I can create from scratch or I can create with AI. Now, if I click Create Rubric using AI, all those standards are automatically attached, and you can always click here to go in and add more if you'd like. I'll close this, but now these standards will be aligned, so when you generate your rubric with AI, it'll have the standards built right in. So I've got title description, I'll hit next. It's going to suggest a rubric scale and what criteria. We'll say key causes, colonial perspective, and historical events. Hit generate. And now this is going to generate a standards aligned rubric. Okay, that looks good. I'll hit attach. And now my rubric is attached and it's aligned to the standards I've selected for my assignment. The fourth new feature is an improved feedback area, so when students get feedback from the educator, they can focus directly on that feedback. So Alex here has turned in his assignment, and as the educator, I'm going to give my feedback over here on the right. Okay, I've written up my feedback, and now I'm going to return this to Alex, the student, and I'll click Return. Okay, now we're going to switch over to Alex, the student, and show what that feedback looks like with the updated user interface. Okay, I've signed in as Alex the student, and I'll go to assignments. And here, causes of the Revolutionary War. Oh, and it looks like there's feedback. I'm going to open up this assignment. Now, the new layout, feedback is front and center. We've collapsed things like instructions, which are distracting in the past, or AI guidelines. So we've basically hidden everything and just really focused on the feedback. So that is the first thing that a student will see. The fifth new feature is improvements to locales in assignments. What a locale is, for example, there is English in the United States, there's English in Great Britain, English in Australia, English in New Zealand. And different countries might have different spellings for different words, for example, in some of those different countries. Or in Spanish, you might have Spanish in Mexico, Spanish in Spain, Spanish in Costa Rica. So I'm going to show some improvements we've made there. If I click Create and New Assignment, we're going to pretend that I am a teacher in Great Britain. And by default, your operating system, or if you use Teams in the browser, your browser will determine what the locale is that's detected. So I've set my locale here to be Great Britain and English. So we'll give it a title and instructions. An assignment in Great Britain. And now on purpose, I've spelled colors and organize in quote, the American style. And we're going to say add detail. Now, because the locale is recognized, it spells color in the way that it's spelled in Great Britain. And same things will like organize and other types of spellings that might be different. Now, the other nice thing is you're going to notice it says right here, England year 8. And if I click this, I can go in and check the year. And instead of saying kindergarten, first grade, third grade, etc., it's reception, year 1, year 2, year 3. So we've automatically updated these AI options to reflect the locale that you're in. And I'm in Great Britain, and that's how they talk about it. And I'll click Keep. Same thing under Rubric. If I go to create Rubric using AI, you're going to see that it has year 1, year 2, year 3, etc. And I will close that. Just to note, these improvements with locales and auto detection and reflecting the right language, such as year 1, year 2, year 3, have also rolled out in the M365 Teach module. So it exists in Teams as well as the Teach module. The sixth new feature is Learning Zone interactive lesson integration. Learning Zone is an AI-powered app we've recently launched and allows educators to create interactive lessons. So I'm going to switch over to assignments and I will click Create and then New Assignment. Now I'll click Attach. And you're going to see Interactive Lesson. These are Learning Zone lessons. Now, Learning Zone can be installed by educators on a Windows 11 device, and the AI generation requires a Copilot Plus PC device. In this case, I've already created an interactive lesson with Learning Zone on my device, and I'm going to have it come up right here. So I've created this lesson, How Plants Turn Sunlight into Energy. You can create new lessons as well, but I'll click right here and click Attach. Now this adds this Learning Zone lesson right into the assignment. So I'll give it a title and instructions, and I'll click Assign. Now we're going to switch over to the student and show what it looks like on their end when they open up this Learning Zone lesson. I've signed in as Alex the student, and I'm going to open up this new assignment right here. And here is that Learning Zone lesson. Click this, and we can render this entire Learning Zone lesson right here within Teams. If I click Start, now I can walk through it. I'm reading, I'm learning. Great, key parts of the leaf, etc. So I read through the lesson. I've got to fill in the blanks. I'm just going to do this really quickly. I'm just no idea if this is right or wrong. I click check. Oh, they're all wrong. I could show the solution, or I could keep going. And we'll do it again. Oh, I guessed one right. Anyways, you get the idea. And when you're done, the student will have feedback on how they did in this Learning Zone lesson. I'll click close. You can download the Learning Zone app from the Microsoft Store. So I've already downloaded Learning Zone. I'm just going to launch it briefly so you can see what that looks like. So I'm on the educator side, and this is what Learning Zone looks like. There's lots of different lessons. This is one that I created. You can discover content. So there's lots of partner-led content. So you don't have to create your own lessons. You've got things here in the Learning Zone studio from NASA, Figma, Minecraft. Maybe I want a Secret of Black Holes lesson. So all sorts of great stuff in Learning Zone that you can create. Now within Teams, you can put that and attach it to an assignment like I just showed.